just basically like half tackled me outside of the door and then just forced her way in, but she's so friendly.
We're going through Guatemala City, and this is what I've done here.
Made it into Guatemala City, and we're just taking a quick walk around. I'm not going to flash the camera much. The place has a bit of a reputation, but we're here. Malls are very popular here. We're seeing things like pulled pork sandwich, tempeh bacon BLT, burgers, tacos, quesadillas, burritos, waffles, pancakes, tofu bagels, and some Guatemalan specialties as well.
In this lovely setting, they also have a grocery store with tons of vegan options. We ordered
Steak chimichurri and hilachas.
It's a little bit pricier here with these entrees being $16 each, but we are in what feels to be or like a very fancy area of town.
The hilachas are like a tangy, rich in flavor, meat, potato, and vegetable mix served with rice. It's actually very delicious. I just wish there was more of it. The steak plate is very interesting. The beef chimichurri is earthy and sweet. This very nice patty, which has a very soft, beany, and chewy texture. Fries and salad with it.
So Lavka is a very, very excellent little cafe. Bring your money and don't bring a huge appetite because the elevated food has a decreased portion size, but still a good meal, still a beautiful lunch, and highly recommend. Delicious.
We're gonna try this grocery store. It's close to our house.
What did you want?
Well, they got the stuff here, folks, but it'll cost you. That's $60 for 15 servings of that organic protein by Orgain. They have tofu cuties, $5.75. Floss is $12 at least. Bring your own.
And that's about it. But this video is concerning what I learned in Guatemala, about Guatemala, that you must know. It is by no means comprehensive. It's just some stuff that I figured out by being here. So, let's get into it. Although you can get around in English, not many people speak it. So, learn some Spanish. Have your phone out and running as they machine gun fire the Spanish at you. It's common practice for younger travelers or backpackers especially to stay at homestays where they also offer a Spanish school. So that can be a great way to start your trip here. Find an area with a bunch of beautiful Spanish schools and get learning. Lake Atitlan especially was a great place for this. And remember, a lot of those language schools are homestay style, so they'll offer food, language, accommodations, and often a member of the family as a tour guide to go around, speak to you in Spanish, explain things, and just hang out. That can be quite a nice way to see things as well. If you're on a budget and vegan and you're looking for food, honestly, I can't recommend enough. Just go to the local markets, get your fresh food like avocados from the Mayan ladies in Atitlan, or veg. All the stewing veg and fruit is incredible in Guatemala, so I recommend just heading out to a local market first, picking up what you need, and then maybe going to a grocery store for the rest, for the dry basics if you want. Although a lot of those are also sold at the markets, but compare prices before shopping. Also for the vegans, alternative milk beverages. About the cheapest you can find is Ades, and that's about $3 a liter. It's not bad. A lot of savings by utilizing street food, which is very clean and very, very nicely done here. We found empanadas, a huge plate of them for $3 in San Marcos on Atitlan. We found various delicious things outside, cut fruit and more. Grocery items here are very cheap if they're from the many crops of local abundance, but they are not cheap if they're imported. A good example of this is peanut butter was $12, but an avocado was like 40 cents. Places that I feel you must visit. Semuc Champe. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Lake Atitlan was incredible. Basically a bunch of Mayan villages surrounding a beautiful placid lake, colorful walking streets, amazing experiences, and just gentle, humble culture. Of course, Antigua is incredible. Colonial sites, historic sites, ruins, colorful streets, cobblestone, beautiful markets, lots of shopping if you're into that, jewelry construction, handicrafts, more and more. Check out Antigua. We were there for a whole week and we loved it. As far as safety concerns go, we did feel safe in almost everywhere we were at. However, if you're going through Guatemala City, obey the warnings, No, don't go out after dark, and only walk where they advise you to walk. That's no joke. Keep safe. And of course, always ask your hotelier, your host, someone you have as a local contact, what to do and what they would do, and trust them. They know. Lots of positives about Guatemala. The local culture, incredible lush green tropical nature, birds and fish and animal sightings galore, green jungles, indigenous culture, incredible handicrafts and handmade everything, coffee, tea, food, and friendly, helpful, good-natured people who aren't over the top. There's not many touts here either, just in certain areas, and they're not heavily persistent and aggressive. We didn't find really any high-pressure situations with sales, even when it comes to tours in competitive areas like Flores, which we also loved. The negatives are pretty basic. Some items are expensive, especially non-local abundance type of groceries. Certain forms of transport are more expensive than other places for what you get, but the transport is still pretty reliable. Restaurants overall are fairly expensive, around the same price or maybe 20% less than at home in Canada. So for that, as I said earlier, we just remedied it by grocery shopping. That said, the dining here is generally excellent. In Antigua, we were treated to one of the best meals we've ever had. Incredible attention to detail and reasonable price for that level of detail. It just happens to be the same at home. Well, still an amazing experience, but if you're on a budget, restaurants will really hit you here. Cell phone coverage here is also expensive relative to other places. It's not bad, it's just more than we paid in Mexico, more than we've paid in Asia. You can usually mitigate this by making sure you have your Wi-Fi all set up with your host. Re-download your various things if you need them, and then just use your data for being out and about. Tourist areas also have a lot more expensive stuff hidden among sort of cheap options, so you really gotta use that hunting eye and make sure you are discerning. So be diligent in knowing your prices, know your budget, and if you don't have to worry about it, hey, good on you. But we did, and we still made it work. Again, this is not a true negative, but if you plan on coming here without any Spanish at all, not a lot of people are going to do too much to try and help you. And that isn't because they're rude. They're worried about speaking badly in your language. So you're going to have to span that gap, learn some Spanish, whip out that translator, or come equipped ahead of time with Spanish. If you speak Spanish already, you're going to be killing it. You're going to love it here. We noticed from time to time some places did try sort of a tourist price or, you know, a little friendly work here and there, but it's very easily neutralized. But remember again, your host or your hotel will be able to tell you what that tuk-tuk trip to the next town over should cost, how much transport normally is, what a good tour at the event or the site that you want to see is like, and be able to quote you a general range of prices. When you hear someone quote you a price, if it falls within that range, you're probably doing okay. Overall, Guatemala was a dream filled with really interesting people, places, and things. Activities were all top-notch. The ruins at Tikal were some of the best I've ever seen. And I really recommend that folks come here and eat some beautiful fruit and take some amazing hikes and walks and conquer a volcano and hang out with the indigenous Maya and just do it. I know it's a short one, but what do you like best about Guatemala? What are your observations that you have that might benefit other travelers? Leave them in the comments, and if you have any questions, leave those as well, because I think I might have the answer for you. Like I said, this video isn't comprehensive, it's just to let you know kind of what to expect, and if there's any other information you need, absolutely reach out on my Instagram at veganeverywheretravel, or leave the comments right here. And hey, can you like, subscribe, enable notifications, all that sort of stuff?
Eating one more of those before we go.
Kitty's name is Gayatana, and we're going to miss her. Thanks for being our little sleepy companion for 2 nights.
Best part of Guatemala City, Guatemala City. Headed to Aurora International Airport to leave Guatemala. Planing. We're here.
I'll see you next in El Salvador. For Vegan Everywhere, I'm David.